Hey guys, Owen here, back again with another video. So, as you guys can probably tell from the title and the thumbnail of this video, this is the brand showcase for my brand that I'm dropping this week, Colette Hyatt. This project has been in the works for almost exactly a full year now. That's about when I sent off the designs to be sampled and manufactured and all that. And I finally have finished product ready to launch. I've started the whole marketing plan and all that stuff. And the final launch date for this collection is
June 16th.
2019, obviously, so that is this coming Sunday, depending on when you're watching this. The drop is going to be at 4 p.m. on ColetteHyatt.com. I'll have the link on screen for you guys right now and also down in the description below in case you didn't want to type it out. A lot of you guys were asking for me to do some sort of video to show you guys what the clothes look like on body and also how they move and that kind of thing, talk about all the specific details, and I figured why not, because that sounds like a lot of fun. And so I have one of each item from the collection, totaling to 6 items. Basically how this is going to work is I'm going to pick out an item, talk about all the details, give you guys a sizing recommendation, tell you guys how much it's going to cost, show you guys what it looks like on body and that kind of thing, and also tell you guys a little bit about the design process. Without further ado, let's hop right into the video. So the first item from the collection I want to show you guys is probably the most recognizable piece from the collection. When I was posting photos and that stuff, you guys seem really attached to these items, which are the hoodies, and I decided to do 2 colorways. Originally it was going to be 2 colorways, but it was going to be this brown colorway and then one other colorway, and it was going to be like a cream colorway, except that one got cut during the sampling process, and I ended up going with this blue just because I love this blue so much better than the cream. And I guess I'll start off with the brown colorway, which I have dubbed the dirt colorway, as it's kind of like a very earthy, washed, faded brown, kind of bordering gray a little bit. By the way, this is what it looks like coming out of the packaging. I just took out my size in each item. So it has a little hang tag right there, but I'll tuck that away for now. So on the surface, this looks like a normal sweatshirt. However, probably the most unique detail about the hoodie is actually that the hood has an open face, meaning that instead of having the hood attach at the front, kind of like overlapping how a normal hood does, we decided to cut the hood open and make the hood have a raw edge on the neckline, so it's just like the raw material, and then having the hood hemmed up along the bottom so it actually looks finished. And that creates a really cool silhouette when you have the hood up, because then the flaps kind of stick out like that, and when you have it down, the flaps kind of like lay on your shoulder like that. And then moving down in the hoodie, the second most recognizable thing, and the image I've used a lot throughout this collection, is this image of the St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow, Russia. I decided to use this graphic because I love Gothic European architecture. At one point in my life I was considering a career in architecture, so I figured why not kind of reference that past throughout these pieces. I kind of tell a little bit of a story, and I've always been obsessed with churches, cathedrals, just really Gothic European architecture, like I said. We actually printed it in this like very dark gray ink, but then we put it through an enzyme wash, which gives the hoodie a very washed and faded effect, because normally the sweatshirt would be a lot more pigmented, it'd be a lot more of a clear brown, a lot more saturation, but once you put it through an enzyme wash, it strips away a lot of that color, makes it really soft. It gives it like a vintage look and feel, which is what I was really striving for with this piece. It's really cool because you get to see the cathedral spires and towers sticking out above the kangaroo pocket, which is actually sewn on after. So the screen printer is added, and then the kangaroo pocket was stitched on, which gives it a really nice, unique effect. Very reminiscent of Raf Simons. That he was a very big inspiration to me when I was designing this collection, and I think I stayed true to like that aesthetic without copying it too much. And yeah, I really love the piece. The sampling process took a very long time, a lot of iterations, a lot of different versions, but this is the final version with a much larger kangaroo pocket than the original version. It was tough to find a balance between having the right size of the print but also making sure that you can see it beyond the kangaroo pocket. I'm very happy with what we ended up on. And then a couple other details about the hoodie is actually that the elastic bands along the hem and the waistline, which is like this strip of band right here, is actually a contrasting material, so it is a little bit darker. You guys can kind of see that. Instead of having the colors match perfectly, I wanted to throw it off a little bit, which I think just adds a little bit of character and detail that you wouldn't really see in a normal hoodie. And then the final detail of the piece that kind of like completes the whole look, kind of sells the vintage and used effect, is the hand distressing all over the hoodie. You get to see that along the pocket hems on the kangaroo pocket, along the bottom hemline, you get to see a little distressing. The sleeves have a little bit of distressing, and then also along the hood you have some distressing. It might be kind of hard to tell, but you guys can see a little bit of fraying. I like to call the distressing skeletoning because it kind of strips away the top layer of the fabric. You still get to see the underlayer of the fabric. It doesn't create a massive hole and go right through the fabric. It just removes that top layer. And sometimes the strings kind of hang across and still complete the top layer, if that makes sense. So I like to dub it skeletoning, but I'm not sure exactly what that process is called. And I really, really love how it ended up, and I'm super happy with this piece. Really, it couldn't have been any better than what it is right now. The hoodie is made with an 11-ounce French terry, so it's not extremely, extremely heavy, but it's also not lightweight by any means. It's like a perfect mid-weight, I'd say, especially for spring, summer, fall time. This is pretty much the weight that you want for your hoodies, because 14 ounce, I'd say, is the maximum. We also don't want to go below 9. I think 9 is kind of like the cutoff. Like I said, this is the dirt colorway, and then I'll show you guys the ice colorway, which is this blue. The reason why I dubbed it the ice colorway is because it's not a very saturated blue. It kind of borders a gray and a blue, and I feel like the term ice kind of perfectly encapsulated that color, and it also kind of matches the dirt colorway in terms of like the context. So yeah, this is basically the same hoodie. The only difference between the ice colorway and the dirt colorway is actually just the fabric color. The print is done in the same color. It's like a very, very dark gray, kind of bordering black a little bit, but not too stark of a black. Also, the hemline does stay true to the contrasting hemline of the dirt colorway by having like a dark like band going across the bottom along the cuffs and the waistline. It's like the perfect pop of color that you need in a muted wardrobe that doesn't stand out too much. It kind of perfectly goes into a muted wardrobe, I feel like, just because it is very desaturated, kind of bordering a gray, like I said. So yeah, that was the ice colorway, and let's keep it moving on. By the way, I forgot to mention, these two hoodies are the same price. They are $150 on the website. Like I said,
June 16th,
4 p.m. ColetteHyatt.com. These will be available then. I will have sizes extra small all the way up to XXL, so pretty much there's a size for everybody. So yeah, moving on to the next piece, which is the last top knee collection, and it is this really, really beautiful Jacquard knit sweater with that same cathedral motif on the front. Let me just tuck away the hang tag right there. So this piece took a very, very long time. This was probably the most complicated piece to do in the whole collection. Originally we did a cotton, then we did a wool cotton blend, and then we did a different wool blend, and then we finally ended up doing 100% wool, which was very, very expensive. If you guys do production, you know that wool is very expensive. And this piece right here, like I said, has that same motif in the front, which is the cathedral, except on this piece, the design was done with a Jacquard, meaning that instead of it being printed like a screen print on the front, this design is actually woven into the fabric. From afar, you can't really tell, but once you get up close, you can actually see that the wool texture is actually woven in, and the design is part of the fabric. A lot of brands have been doing this recently, and I feel like jacquarding is going to be a very big thing in 2019, 2020. The design was done in a dark gray wool instead of it being stark black. I didn't want too much contrast there. And then the cool thing about this piece is that it actually has the same measurements as the hoodies. By the way, I completely forgot to mention, the hoodies have like a very, very boxy fit, kind of like oversized when you go true to size. So I normally wear a large in this piece, and then these sweaters also have the exact same measurements as the hoodies. So you will see that the bodies have the same length, the shoulders are the same, the sleeves are the same, but I actually prefer to wear this piece in an XL, just because in my opinion, I like sweaters that are a little bit more oversized, whereas normally I wear like a true to size hoodie, if that makes sense. A lot of people have their own opinions when it comes to sizing, but I prefer to go one size up in this piece. I have worn a size large and it fits completely normally, fits exactly like these ones, but I do want to go for that oversized look. I chose to wear an XL in this. I love how this piece came out. By the way, I don't recommend putting it on a hanger if you do end up buying this piece, because you don't want to put sweaters on hangers because then you put holes in the shoulders. I just have it on a hanger for the video purposes only. This piece, since it was the most expensive piece in the whole collection to produce, will be the most expensive thing to purchase online at $200. But yeah, that's what the backside looks like, very plain. I didn't want to do anything on the backside. I really love how the jacquard came out. Getting the design right took a very long time just because there's so many different variations. You can go very high in detail, you can go very low in detail in terms of the image quality, and you just get different effects, and I really, really love how this one came out. I think it looks perfect, and I wanted the design to fully cover the front side of the body, which I think it does as it goes all the way up to the top of the neck. And moving on to the only pair of pants for the collection, I've dubbed these the tactical drawstring trousers, just because there's so many different details going on about them. I'll just try to hit each detail as it comes along, like kind of going down the pants. So right off the bat, these are made out of 100% cotton, except it's like a stiff cotton. So it's not like a sweatpant material, but it's also not so rigid and stiff like a pair of Dickies, if you have a pair of Dickies. And it is extremely soft. I wanted the softest cotton I could find, and I'm really, really happy with this material. So at the top of the pant, there's an elasticated drawstring waistband. So it's very, very adjustable. It can fit a lot of sizes, so it kind of depends like how relaxed of a fit you want it to be. And one of my favorite details about them is that the drawstrings are very elongated. As you guys can see, they drape all the way down to like where the knees are pretty much. But you can kind of like pull on them a little bit further, and they can go a little bit further if you want. The funny thing about these drawstrings is that since it is like a nice dark olive color, that color didn't actually exist in a drawstring before, so we had to actually make the drawstrings from scratch. Just because I wanted this exact color. I didn't want to compromise on anything. Some of my friends prefer to tie it up and then have like the elongated drawstrings just hang a little bit. Pretty much to each their own. It can fit into anybody's wardrobe. And then for the pockets, I want to do a reinforced exterior pocket, very reminiscent of the OG 107s. I'll throw a picture of what they look like on screen for you guys just because mine are dirty right now, but I wanted to mimic those same pockets because they're like military issue, and I wanted a military feel for these pants. So it is like a reinforced pocket. It has 2 layers of stitching, and it has like a box shape to it along the bottom side, and then it's like a normal pocket everywhere else. And this is like the true size of the pocket too. It doesn't go any further or any deeper than that. Same thing on the other side. And then as you move down the leg, it might be kind of hard to see on camera. Hopefully it's able to pick it up. But there's actually a reinforced knee panel. So the knee is actually a completely different piece of fabric sewn underneath the top part of the leg and then the bottom part of the leg. So it kind of lays underneath. But then it has 4 rows of stitching that come in at all 4 angles. It creates a really nice look. It's very reinforced, obviously very reminiscent of like workwear and military wear. And then as you move down the leg, you get to see the other leg panel right there. And then the bottom just finishes off with a normal hem. And then as you flip onto the back side, you get to see a lot of detail. Starting off at the top, there are 2 hidden zipper pockets. So the zipper handles you can actually see right there, but the actual like zippers are pretty hidden. This is how the pockets unzip, very, very easy. It's extremely soft on the inside. I wanted to make sure it wasn't too rigid. And they just tuck away nicely. They're not too out there. I think they're very nice and hidden, and the zipper handles kind of stick out perfectly. And then as you move down the leg, I'll just have to throw it over my shoulder right there just so I can hold it up. But you guys can see these 2 Velcro straps that hang off both legs right there. This pretty much allows you to have any fit that you want. If you leave it as it is when it comes out of the package, it will be like your normal default straight leg fit, or you could have the straps pulled all the way, creating a very skinny fit, or you could have them like halfway in between, have like a slim fit. So pretty much it's up to you how you want the pants to fit, and I really love that aspect. Just because it's hard to decide sometimes if you want to have a skinny fit pair of pants or a loose fit. Generally, I keep my pair on the default setting just because I like the more loose fit. And then the Velcro straps themselves are a trapezoid, I want to say. I think the shape is a trapezoid. I'm trying to like tap into my 5th grade geometry. But basically, the 2 sides up top kind of come down into a smaller section. So it's not like a perfect rectangle. It's like a diamond shape kind of. No, I think it's a trapezoid. I want to say it's a trapezoid. Comment down below if it's a trapezoid. Nice high quality Velcro that doesn't wear too fast. I'll have size charts on the website and also on the brand's Instagram story highlights. Put them on there just so people could always view them whenever they want. And also know what size to go for when the website drops. But for sizing reference, I recommend either going true to size, like true to your waist size, or going 1 size up. I'm normally a 30 waist, and I wear a 30 waist in these pants. However, if I wanted a more relaxed fit, I could go with a 32. Since it is an elasticated waist, it can pretty much fit a lot of sizes close to that size range. So if you get 30, it could fit a 29 to 31, I'd say. These are gonna be $160 on the website. Which I think is fair for a pair of pants like these. And yeah, I really love how they came out, and let's move on to some accessories for the collection. The first accessory I want to cover is actually this bag right here. I've dubbed this piece the Vine side bag just because it has the Collection 1 logo right there, and also on the back side. These are actually embroidered on the leather right there, so it's not like printed on or anything. It won't fade over time. And the actual bag itself is made out of a vegan leather. I could have gone with 100% leather. However, my manufacturer did show me this really, really beautiful vegan leather. It's like butter soft. It's got a nice like tumbled leather texture. It really looks and feels like leather. And I decided to go that material. And I really love how this piece came out. It has really great structure to it. So like I said, there are the Collection 1 logos on the sides of the bag. And at the top of the bag, which is like a cylinder, you have the silver zipper right there, which can unzip. You can store pretty much anything you want in here. Phone, keys, wallet, sunglasses are pretty much the things that I put in my bag and I'm able to fit in there. And I think that makes the bag great for like everyday use. And since it is black, you can pretty much throw it on any outfit and it will look great and it will match perfectly. On each side of the bag, you have these little straps with a silver D-ring, which allows you to attach the full body length strap, so you can actually sling it over your body like that. And the strap also is completely adjustable. When it comes straight out of the bag, it's a little bit shorter, but you can just adjust it to any length pretty much. This is the length that I like to have it at. You can hold it like that. It kind of sits at your hip nicely under your arm. But however, if you decided you didn't want to use the full body strap, you can take it off and then use these two handles on either side of the bag like that. Just try to imagine that the strap isn't there. You can just hold the bag, do whatever you want. I wanted there to be a lot of versatility when it comes to this piece. And yeah, I really love how the shape came out. This is actually probably the quickest thing to make, just because my manufacturer nailed the shape first time and there wasn't that much to change from the samples thereon. And you guys can see that there's vegan leather straps that go all the way around the sides and bottom of the bag, just for a little bit of added detail. This bag is going to be on the website for $110, which I feel like is very fair and affordable, especially for a bag that you can use every single day. So the very last piece in my first collection is actually this nylon baseball cap. I wanted there to be a piece that anybody could afford in the collection regardless of your price range, and I think this piece kind of like fits the bill perfectly. The material of this hat is a very nice like matte nylon. I really love this material. It's very, very soft and it's very comfortable to wear, especially. Completely constructed from scratch. It's completely adjustable on the back side. You get to see a Velcro strap right there, so you can pretty much adjust it to any size you want. You get the Colette Hyatt tag on the inside right there. You have the embroidered Collection 1 logo right there, the Vine logo as I've dubbed it, which is the same design on the bag right there. And then probably my favorite detail, which is very, very hard to see from afar. I don't think you guys will be able to see on camera, but the rows of stitching that come off the hat, like off these sides right there, going down the front and the other side all the way along the back. Now the front one actually has the rows of stitching that follow all the way down the brim right there. It's, again, very, very hard to see, but there are 2 rows of stitching that come across the front. I really love the effect that that gives. It's just like a little bit better than your normal average baseball cap, in my opinion. I've priced this piece at $45, which I feel like is very fair and affordable. A lot of people who want to be able to support the brand in some way, shape, or form will be able to buy this hat, I feel like. Now, before you leave the video, I do want to tell you guys about this special opportunity for those of you who support the brand and buy something from the collection. I will be doing a top subscriber outfits video, but it must feature one piece from the collection. It could be any piece from the collection. I just want to see what you guys are able to come up with, how you guys are able to style these pieces, and I want to showcase that on this channel. I want to thank you guys in some other way, so I thought kind of like showcasing your outfits on this channel would be a great idea. So when you do get those pieces in and you style it and you post it on your Instagram, tag the Colette_Hyatt Instagram page, like the brand page, and then also tag me as well, which is Owen M. Hyatt. That way there's no chance of me missing your outfits at all. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the collection does drop
June 16th
at 4 p.m. EST. I'm not sure what that is in other time zones, but for those of you across the globe, just try to like do like a time converter for whatever time zone you're in. Remember that the number of units is very limited, so try not to wait too long before purchasing your items, just because I feel like a lot of people will kind of be upset about not getting what they want. This video and this collection have been in the process for so long, and I'm very glad that it's finally done and I get to release it and show you guys. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, make sure you follow the brand on Instagram if you want to see future item releases and that kind of thing. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Peace out, you guys. Have a good day. See you next time.